So what are the Democrats going to do next? Are they going to bail John Boehner out of the fix that he is in now by delivering votes for a future budget compromise? And what is that compromise? Joining me now is the man on the spot, Maryland Congressman and House Minority Whip, Steny Hoyer. Well, anything happening up there today?
We just had a press conference, of course, talking about it, but nothing else is happening at this point in time.
And they went home. I mean, how does the House go home for Christmas while this budget compromise is still nowhere?
Andrea, that's a good question. I don't have an answer to it. It's not the responsible thing for us to have done. But having said that, what I'm hopeful, very hopeful, is that John Boehner and the President will engage today, tomorrow, the next day, to work very hard at getting at a compromise. And very frankly, John Boehner now understands clearly there is a certain part of his caucus that will not compromise. They will not take any additional revenues. No balanced deal will be available to them that they would support. As a result, I think Speaker Boehner is going to have to determine how many in his caucus are willing to make a compromise, willing to work together with Democrats to get a compromise done. I think President Obama has made it very clear that he has been willing to move. He has moved both on revenues and on cuts in spending, but he has not met with any kind of positive response to this point in time. I think Speaker Boehner wants to get a deal. Whatever happened last night, it did not eliminate the risk that the cliff causes our economy and our people. It's incumbent upon us, therefore, to continue to work towards a solution and to reach a solution prior to the end of the year. So the fact that members are not in town, frankly, we've been in town for 4 weeks and members haven't been doing much. One of the least productive times that I've spent in Congress. But Speaker Boehner and the President were working together, trying to get to a place where the Speaker could sell it to his caucus and the President could sell it to the Democrats on Capitol Hill. Let's hope they continue to do that. I've urged both of them to continue to do that and to work through the weekend, work into next week. We still have time to come back on the 27th or the 28th of this month and enact a compromise, but it will only be done if Democrats and Republicans work together.
Well, are you willing to give him the votes to put this over? Clearly, he is not going to be able to deliver a majority of his caucus. So, how many Republican votes do you need to get this passed? Are you willing to take the political heat for this being a virtually Democrats-only solution?
Andrea, I don't know the answer because I don't know how many votes he has or doesn't have. But both Leader Pelosi and I, on behalf of the Democrats in the House, have said if the President and Speaker Boehner reach an agreement, that we will do everything we can to make sure that that agreement has the votes in the House of Representatives to pass. And both Leader Pelosi and I believe that that's important for us to do so for the country, for the economy, and for the American working people who are going to face a tax increase on January 1st if we don't get to an agreement. So that I don't know the number, but the answer to your question is we are certainly willing, and I am certainly willing to work with John Boehner to get the requisite number of votes. I would hope that John Boehner could get certainly more than half of his caucus. Let me remind you, Andrea, when President Bush came to a Democratic-led House and Senate in September of 2008 and said we had a fiscal crisis that could lead to depression if we did not act, as you recall, the minority of Republicans, or the majority of Republicans, did not support their own president. But the majority of Democrats, a handy majority of Democrats, did support President Bush because we thought the country was in crisis and needed help, not in a partisan way, but in a bipartisan way, and we were there. I think that would be the same in working with John Boehner, if in fact he can get significant numbers of people and reach an agreement with the President.
Steny Hoyer, thanks so much. Happy holidays to you. If you can have any holiday, we wish you well. Thanks for joining us here today.
Ready to work. Thank you, Andrea, very much, and happy holidays to you and to all your viewers.
Thanks.